Hello everybody. In this video I will do a decibel measurement using the noise app on the Apple Watch Ultra while music is playing through the JBL Xtreme speaker on maximum volume. Let's open the noise app and we will play the music on maximum volume.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The nights would seem so long.
As you can see, the very first second of the music was measured at 39 decibels, which officially does not seem correct. This most likely suggests that the decibel meter takes a moment to catch up when the music starts. After that, the measured sound levels range between 87 and 94 decibels, with most of the readings staying around 90, 91 and 93 decibels. In my opinion, those values seems much more accurate. However, the readings still occasionally drop to 89 and 88 decibels, even though there was no noticeable change in the tone or volume of the song beginning played. Once the vocals began, the measurement stayed between 92 and 102 decibels for the remainder of the test. Most of the readings fluctuated between 99, 97, 96, 95 and 92 decibels before eventually reaching a peak of 102 decibels. What makes that peak particularly interesting is that there was no clearly noticeable change in either the volume or the tone of the song at that moment. Perhaps even more interesting is the fact that the 102 decibels reading was a one-time spike. Immediately afterward, the measurements dropped back down to 97, 93, 92, 90 and then 97 decibels. That's quite a lot of variation, especially considering that both the music and the vocals sounded essentially unchanged throughout this period. The only possible difference I noticed was a brief pause in the singing right after the word empty, which happened to coincide with the moment the meter recorded 102 decibels. Overall, the measurements were highly variable and at times quite surprising, which makes this an interesting observation. One thing is certain though, if your ear is as close to the speaker as my Apple Watch was in this video, that sound level is definitely not safe for your hearing. Always be careful with volume levels and avoid getting too close to a speaker when it's playing at high volume. Hello everybody. A few days ago I uploaded a video in which I was doing a decibel measurement test using the noise app on my Apple Watch Ultra, while the volume of the JBL Xtreme was on maximum volume and the watch was near the speaker. But now I'm doing another test at normal volume and normal listening distance. Let's open the noise app on my Apple Watch. Menu and then the noise app. Oh, oops, wrong app. And let's start the music. As you can see, the measured sound levels range between 39 and 50 decibels, with a peak of 50 decibels. Most of the readings stayed around 45, 47 and 48 decibel, which is what I would expect for normal music listening at a typical distance in a living room. There was also a brief drop to around 41 decibel. One possible explanation is that at that moment the song contained a few seconds of instrumental music without any vocals, which may have slightly reduced the overall sound level. The peak reading of 50 decibels is a little more difficult to explain, since there was no noticeable change in either the volume or the content of the music at that point. However, small fluctuations like this can occur due to the way sound is measured and how different frequencies are picked up by the microphone. Overall, the recorded sound levels indicate a completely safe listening volume with no realistic risk of hearing damage during normal listening sessions. The green indicator and OK status shown in the noise app support that conclusion as well. Hello everybody! I already made several videos of decibel measurements on the JBL Xtreme speaker while playing music, and this time I will do another decibel measurement of the JBL Xtreme while playing classical music at normal volume and at a normal listening distance. First of all, let's unlock my Apple Watch. And now open the noise app. And let's start the music. There is the speaker. As you could see, the decibel levels were not high this time and remained in the green OK zone throughout the entire measurement. This indicates that listening to music at this volume level is considered completely safe for your hearing. During the introduction of the piece, which consisted of repeated guitar notes played at the same pitch, the measurements fluctuated between 45, 51, 48, 52 and 49 decibels. When the orchestra entered, however, the readings immediately increased to 54 decibels, followed by 55 and 56 decibels. This clearly shows that the orchestral section maintained a more consistent decibel level than the guitar introduction, which is quite interesting considering that the guitar notes themselves were repetitive and monotone. When the orchestra arrangement changed and the music shifted in tone, the measurements first moved to 54 decibels and then increased to 59 decibels. This suggests that changes in the musical arrangement can have a noticeable effect on the measured sound level. Shortly afterward, the readings dropped to 53 and then 52 decibels. The 52 decibel reading appears to coincide with a brief pause in the orchestra before a new arrangement begins. Once the music increased in intensity again, the measurement rose to 57 decibels, although it briefly returned to 53 decibels as well. Interestingly, even though the music became much more melodic and varied at this point, the measurements continued to fluctuate mainly between 55, 53, 54 and 52 decibels. In my opinion, that is another interesting observation. Later in the piece, there is a brief moment of complete silence. During this section, the measurements drop to 50 and even 46 decibels. This is exactly what we would expect since there was temporarily no sound beginning produced. After that, a new arrangement begins featuring only the guitar. Unlike the repetitive guitar notes heard in the introduction, this section contains much more melody and variation. During this part, the measurements fluctuated between 47, 49, 50, 51 and 48 decibels. What stands out here is that the guitar-only section remained below 50 decibels much more often than the orchestral section. This indicates that the overall sound level was lower, which may simply be because only a single instrument was playing, rather than an entire orchestra. I find that particularly interesting. Finally, I would like to emphasize once again that the entire measurement remained within the green OK zone of the Noise app, meaning this listening experience was classified as safe for your hearing. Thanks for watching and stay safe when listening to music.